I am about to expose the sales secrets of the rich and famous. Why is it that Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Kim Kardashian are so rich and so famous? That is a question that has been ringing in my head, and it should ring in yours too. When I had started my first job at the car dealership, this exact question kept playing in my mind over and over and over again. I didn't want to sell at the dealership. I knew that wasn't going to make me rich and famous. I definitely didn't want to work behind a desk for the rest of my life either, probably just like you. I wanted to achieve what very few people had and do more than any of my family has ever done. But the real question for me was, and probably the same question for you, where do I start? I remember sitting there 2 months into the car dealership when I had my first $8,000 month, and I was like, whoa. This is a ton of money. I've never actually seen this money before in my life. But I did know one thing. It wasn't even close to what I wanted to accomplish. So I kept asking myself, what did Elon Musk do? What does he do now? What did Jeff Bezos do? What does he do right now? So what I did was I did some research. I researched how Elon Musk had designed PayPal and then eventually sold it. Then, of course, everybody knows that Jeff Bezos started Amazon. And I researched exactly how he advertised and sold everything on the planet on one website. And then I researched Kim Kardashian. She made a show, then eventually a business, and then was super famous and super rich. And the most important question that I kept asking myself was, what was the similarities between all of them? Number one, they learned a skill, 100%. And number two, they sold their ideas to as many people as they possibly could until they started believing it. After doing all that research, I finally figured out what I needed to do next and where to start my journey so that I could continue to get better and better and better and eventually make more and more money. And that was one main thing. I needed to get really good at selling. I needed to embrace the job that I was at, learn the skill, and do it really well for a long time. And then eventually use those skills for the rest of my life. For any encounter that I have, I can always sell at some point, whether it's myself or an idea or a product that I'm really, really trying to sell. So that is exactly what I did and am still doing to this day. So what I'm about to do now is I'm gonna give you the top 3 secrets that all of these people use so you can start using them too. The first thing that they did, they committed and believed in themselves. They were completely sold on themselves and their ideas that they had. Number 2 is they started selling other people and convincing other people to be sold on their ideas and how awesome they were. And then number 3, what they did was they took all of those ideas, put them out in the public, and eventually sold all of that ideas so they could start getting rich on top of already being famous. It's a simple framework, and it's exactly what I implemented at the car dealership. And I went from my first 8K month to consistently every single month being number 1 at the dealership and having 15 to 20K months alone just at a car dealership. Here's how you can apply it to your life right now. Of course, number 1, commit and believe in yourself. The number 1 thing that you could possibly do is put the work in so that you actually do believe in yourself. Now, there's a bunch of different work for sales that you can put in, but look for courses, go out and get that job, right? Learn sales to the point where you believe 100% in yourself. If you have ideas, right? Believe in those ideas. Know that you actually have a good idea. You just need to get it out to more people. And that brings me to number 2. If you already have a good idea, you need to go out and convince anybody that you can, whether it's friends, family, or the bank, so they can give you money, right? And if you don't know how to convince, you need to learn sales. And I hope we're seeing the similarities here. They're super important and they're all congruent. If you know sales, you know how to do the other, right? But you need to go convince people as much as possible that your ideas are good and that you believe in yourself and they can believe in you too. And then of course, the final step, sell those ideas, right? Get funding from the bank if you need to. If you have those ideas, right? Actually follow through with them and go sell them to the public. See how good they really are and start testing them out. If you're in sales, start selling, right? Start convincing other people that this is good or that is good or whatever the case may be. And number 1, believe in your product, believe in yourself, and I promise you, you will be able to sell as much as possible. You eventually make the money and then maybe get famous if you want to, maybe not, but at least you'll be one step closer to being rich.